I'm going to jump into this piece here. I'm going to just demonstrate some of the inking strategies on what I use every single day when I'm at Comic-Con or when I go to certain places and people want me to do commissions for them. This is how I take my pencils to, and then I'll show you how I use some of these tools to come in here and start doing some inks on this here. So, all right, so I usually start off with the eyes. But honestly, if you when you're inking, you can start off pretty much anywhere you want to. The way how I like to approach my inks is I try to bucket certain things. So I'm thinking of the head separate from the headpiece, separate from the chest piece, separate from the arms. So I'm thinking of it like that. So I'm thinking of each little section as I'm inking, but I combine it all together. And I'm also thinking about layers, like what's in front and what's behind. So I'm thinking of that as I'm going when I'm inking and knocking out some of these strokes. Now I'm going to use this this Posca here, and I'm going to knock out some areas, and I'll show you how I use it. I use this pretty much like a brush, and I also use my finger. As you can see, some ink is already on my fingers here, but I also use my finger as part of the tool because I'm not just inking with these pens. I'm inking with my entire with what I have, which is my body, my hands. I'm using everything I have just to express it. All right, so I'm gonna tackle this. One thing that I do have to say about inking is that I don't want to move my hands around too much. So to compensate for that, the page has to move and turn. So there's gonna be times I'm going to flip my page back this way. I'm gonna move my page this way. It's all about the angle of the stroke. It's not about me showing this to the camera. It's more about how am I going to get this angle correctly and smoothly, and this is the stroke I'm using. So as I'm inking, I'm going to pivot both from my elbow and my wrist and my shoulder. I'm also going to use my shoulder, but it's mostly going to come from my elbow and my wrist. And I'm using this. So as I'm using this stroke, I'm putting my fingers on the page, and I'm using the page, the distance. I'm using my fingers to gauge the distance of the pen like this as I'm going. So this helps with going to a thicker line, thinner line. The further back I pull back, the thinner the line, the quicker I throw it. It also can aid in the thickness or the thinness of the line. Like I said, I'm going to tackle this with layers, and I'm using these pens, which is great. That way I'll be able to fly through this really fast. So don't be surprised if I have this whole piece done in a very short time. Okay, so usually I'm looking at a lot of these pieces. So all this debris around here, I'm going to try to just separate some of this debris first. I'm just going to come in, go here, separate some of the debris, some of the stuff that's going to go in the middle here. Sometimes I'll come in and I'll outline it like this, or sometimes I'll just let the negative effect happen when I'm inking the black. It really depends on the piece, on how I feel that day, honestly, because I can do it all. So these are all just random spots. I'm just kind of picking and attacking as I'm going. There's no specific sequence. Sometimes if I don't see an area, like say here's a piece going over his muscle right here, I might see that, and as I'm inking, I'm like, let me add another one. So I'll just add one, maybe two more, just for the sake of adding some more stuff and making it a little bit more exciting. So I'm kind of in between drawing and inking at this stage. So I'm just going back and forth and knocking out certain parts. So now in my brain, I'm seeing this layer. Now the layer is this particle layer that's in front of him that's kind of floating. So I'm knocking that layer out first. And now the next layer I'm going to try to tackle is pretty much him. Just try to get him out the way. And once I get him out the way, then I'll tackle the background. So like I was saying before, there's some people who will start off with the arm. Let's say I'm starting off with the arm. I'm going to go through and watch how I'm doing this. Now remember, I'm pivoting from my elbows and my wrist. And this hand here on my left, since I'm a righty, hands on my left, it's over here to control the page as I'm moving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some lines like this. I might double up and triple up on certain lines in certain areas. Spinning my page. Let me get some of these pens out of the way. The things I like about these pens are amazing. Like I'll show you, let me jump around just to show you. Sometimes I'll use this pen for specific things, and sometimes I might just use this pen. I could use this pen to ink this entire thing, but I like to jump around with tools because different tools have slightly different effects. Like this pen here has a really thin tip, so I like to use this here for like specific detail areas, like when I want to go in for like little tiny areas like this, like here, or like say his eyes or something. I'll come in and I'll play around with the eyes here, and I'm trying to capture all the little creases or play with it. Maybe the eyebrows, like you see his eyebrows right here. I'll come in and play around, and I can also go thick and thin, which is cool. Like I'll do it over here. Like you can go thin and then thick like that with the same pen, and I love doing that. So I'll do a combination of that, going back and forth, just to capture just the eyebrow alone. And then certain areas underneath his eye. So I'm thinking of a couple different things at this point. I'm thinking of how am I going to break up this area but still keep some lines, keep it to the point where I'm seeing some line work which has this pattern and a flow, and I'm trying to capture it at the same time. I'm trying to keep it dark in certain areas. So I'm breaking it up like this. You see, I went from his eye to his cheek. I'm just thinking of capturing this one area. And a lot of the line work, it just gives me a guide. It's not too specific. It just gives me like a general guide. And my job as an inker is to interpret this, like areas like this, or areas like this. Like here, I can see this has like this square type shape, but I know it's a tech. So I'm going to redraw this area with certain specific line work to show like this is tech. So that's what I'm thinking of as I'm going in here. So right now I'm tackling the eyes, so I'm going to go towards it with this nice little thin pen here. So I'm going to turn my page around and just capture the tiny little areas. His eyeball, these just slight adjustments. I'm going to double it on triple on certain lines, and later on I will do another demonstration on why I choose certain line work at specific times. And if you are the type of person that wants to follow along without like a visual, video or anything like that, and you want like a library form, just look out for the Comic Pro Bootcamp workbook series that's coming out. So we're putting out a workbook series where we're going to be demonstrating and teaching a lot of these techniques in the workbook. So if you get a chance and you want to expand on your inking and you don't want to stick just to videos, or you want to have something with you that you can read and follow along and practice, go get the book. You'll see what I'm talking about. You're going to learn from a lot of different people like Richard Friend, Sandra Hope, me, Will Sportasio, Dexter Vines, a couple other professionals. So look out for it. Okay, so here we go. Expanding, turning certain areas. See, I'm adding and I'm beefing up certain areas in his face. I'm looking at this line work and I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do with it? So as you can see, I'm kind of layering. I'm just tackling a little chunks at a time as I'm going. I'm looking at his nose. I'm looking at his mouth. I could tackle the nose, mouth, because those are the major pieces, and you can knock those out first and then kind of layer around it. You can do it like that. I'm looking at it from the other way also. I'm looking from the outside coming in, for meaning I'm looking at the structure of the whole head and trying to solidify that. And then once I get that, then I'll come in the middle and clean up certain areas in his face. So you can look at it either way, from the inside out or outside in. It's up to you. And if you can see, like a lot of my line work, I'm doubling up on the lines. I'm not just only, it's not just, I'll do a quick demo over here. It's not just ink. It's more like ink, ink, ink. Or sometimes I'll throw 3 lines and then change up the pattern over here and then change it up again like that. So I'll play around with this pattern over here just to capture this area. And this is an alternative way of just going in and saying, oh, I'm just going to ink, this dark area like that. You have to pick and choose how you're going to interpret certain specific areas. It takes time and practice, and you will get better at it. He has a little scar on his nose, so I'm gonna give it this hollow effect here, beef up his nose a little bit. This line work underneath his eye. Let's get his the upper lip. We're gonna go in here and get his lip. This bottom part of his lip here. Like underneath his nose, right? I can easily go in and just make it solid black because there's a shadow underneath his area. But since I'm inking and I'm trying to interpret this area, the safe route to go, right? What I do is instead of just going all black, I will go in here and I'll try to throw like a series of line work in here as a test, just to see if this works better than making it solid black. And here's the cool thing about this. Let's say I don't like this. I'm like, oh, this is not coming out correct. You can always go back and just fill it in completely black and be done with it. Well, so whenever you're in doubt or something, just black it out. Just go ahead and make it all black and you're good to go. So you can see I'm getting close to finishing off his head. And I'm shaping and reforming certain things as I'm going. Because I'm not just inking, I'm also forming, cleaning it up as I'm going. That's basically what inking means. It means that you're taking these rough pencils and you're making it more legible, cleaner, with style. Adding some style to it. Just like that. Added a couple extra lines in here. Now, I'm going to switch over to hit the headpiece. So I can use this brush pen, okay? So what I'll do is, because it's a cloth, I try to go a little bit softer with like a brush pen. Now, some people will go in and they will outline this entire, like one section like this, and then later on they will come back and fill it in black, okay? This is a great way of showing or separating specific areas. I'm going to show you another way how I like to do this, because I enjoy speed and I rely on speed. So I'll just go straight in with my pen, my brush pen. So just go straight in like this, and I'll immediately tackle a black like this. So I'm knocking out two birds with one stone, and I'm not waiting too long or creating extra work for myself. So I'm just going to tackle it all with one pen. So you don't have to get everything. All you have to do is just get the major areas, and I'll show you, watch. So it's coming out a little bit thick right now. I need to clean this up a little. So I'll just use this black area over here. And get some of this black off my pen. Then we'll come back in here and play with it a little more. And this one of the cool things about this is that as you're doing this, you're getting these random strokes that's in there, and that randomness is part of the beauty of inking. It takes some time to dry, but it doesn't take too long. I will, right here. You can always go back, reinforce certain things. Here, I'm going to go through, capture these areas. Like this. So now I knocked out the largest areas in here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to come back and clean it up a little. See, like this little white line in here, that was not planned, but it came out as I'm doing the stroke, and I like it, so I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to go with it. See, there's another one that came out right here, and it looks cool. I'm not going to fight that one either. Just go with it. Fighting it means I'm getting nitpicky, and I'm just going to want to fill it all black. It's cool to leave some white areas like this. It gives it some breathing room. That way it's not so definitive black, or it is not, you're not locking in a specific look and feel. You're kind of giving it some gray area where you can push this way or push that way, going back and forth. Which one is a cool thing about it. So I love using these two pens again. Like this one here is a little bit thinner, and this one here is in the same family, but it's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to go with that one here, and I'm going to add a little bit more to this. Just like that. Double, triple lines. Don't fight it too much. Just go with it. Now this is my style. This is what I do. There are a lot of other inkers who's probably watching this video right now that will have a completely different style. It's up to you to find what works for you. I'm here to show you, show this audience just small specific skills that I use every single day.